great Uncle Chester wanted to build him an empire. That was his dream. And how he got this area out here, I never know. Them old boys worked. I mean, there was nothing to do out here but work. And you can imagine how hard it was to put all this timber up and all that stone. I don't know where all the stone come from. The timbers come from, there was water wells, as I understood here. Out all over the desert, there's drilling wells, water wells. And I understand that some of these timbers come from them well drilling rigs. The house wasn't that big, so I can only remember 2 small bedrooms. So all the kids must have all slept in one room together, or maybe outside in the summertime, and it wasn't that big of a house. You can see where the roof, the edge of the roof is? That was the wall of that side of the house. And then this was the wall here. This was the foundation where this timber set on. And all this wall, see, went down when the roof blew off. They built that old house way back in the 20s, 30s. And then these pipes here that stands up there, that was a water tank at one time. They had a tank on top of that. And when they dug that reservoir, why, that water would come down underneath that dam, and it would siphon itself and go up into that pipe in there, and then had water in the tank on top. And that's how they got running water in them years. And that was a novelty, running water in your house. So you can tell by just the way everything is here was nothing but work. They raised alfalfa and they raised grain, fed their sheep, raised their sheep. I can't imagine how them sheep managed to live out there in the snow and the cold. But the cattle can, livestock like that can handle the cold and the snow as long as they got feed. And they raise their own hay there. So evidently them old sheep managed to live, sheep and cows. But I think they kept their horses mainly inside because they used them a lot. They needed them to haul their hay out and scatter it and feed the livestock. Because I know they used 4 head of horses on them Fresnos and that scraper when they dug the reservoir. So as far as I know, they had 4 head of horses, 4 head of draft horses. But they'd had to plow all that land up, so they used horse-drawn plow. There was a lot of equipment here. I remember different things here. First, they had a big old ditcher. It was called a ditcher. It's got a big old long blade on it, about 8 foot long, and a plow shear on it. And they had 4 head of horses hooked to that. And I believe how they started around plowing the dirt around the edges. And then as time went on, while they used this Fresno, which is another big wide bucket that it's like a scoop and a big handle on it. And the guy stands back here and holds on to the handle, and then that was hooked up to 4 head of horses. And they'd pull that Fresno and move that dirt. And that's how they built this dam, by hauling dirt with the horses and then going out in the middle and digging more with the Fresno and the scrapers. The scraper is a bucket with a handle on each side. And that's how they done it, all hard work and horses and all that horse-drawn equipment. And they moved all that dirt. And I would guess that reservoir is probably about 10 acres. 10 acres of water. And it was all done by hard-working men and horses.